would you like to improve your speaking skills for the FCE or CAE exam? Here are some tips. Since both of them are similar in their structure, I'm going to address both of them at the same time. Let's start with part 2 of the exam, where you have to compare 2 pictures for FCE and choose 2 out of 3 in the CAE exam. The main thing here is to always be comparing, because you are having to compare or contrast these 2 pictures. So always be comparing. Don't only describe what you can see in the picture. What's more, when you are describing what is in the picture, don't only look at what you can physically see, but focus on the question, which usually drives you to more depth rather than what you can see in the picture, how the people might be feeling, why they have decided to do that certain activity. And make sure you use speculative language, such as, it seems like, they probably, it looks as if, etc. Another important aspect is to use contrastive language. So any linking words like whereas, however, on the one hand, on the other hand, all of these are very good to point out the differences between the pictures, which is the most important thing you have to do. Moving on to parts 3 and 4, starting with part 4, you have to remember this is a natural conversation, or it should look like a natural conversation. And like any natural conversation, you are having to pass the ball to the person you are doing the exam with. So whenever you say your argument, remember to always ask for their opinions. What is your take on it? Wouldn't you agree with me? These are just some examples, but make sure you always ask for a response from your partner or whoever you are doing the exam with. Another aspect of doing part 3 well is to link your ideas with the help of linking words, of course. Whether you want to add something, some examples in addition. Another aspect to this, I would like to add that, or to contrast something. However, on the other hand, yeah. Another important aspect here would be to widen the argument. So whatever your partner has said, you must try to widen the scope of that argument. So try to look at it from a different perspective. Even if you agree with them, make sure that you add something extra to it. And then moving on to the last part, which is part 4, where you have to answer some more complex questions. Again, very similar to a more serious conversation. So you have to make sure that whatever arguments you bring up, you justify whatever you are saying, be it by an example or by generalizing the topic, but make sure that you give the examiner a reason to think that you are well grounded in what you are saying and you know why you are saying the things you are saying. Another important aspect here, again, widening the argument or widening the scope of the question or what your partner has already said, because you will be asked to comment on it. So make sure you always widen the scope. Yes, keep the question in mind, but always widen the scope. Again, linking words are essential here as well. Whether you want to add information or use contrastive language, make sure that you use plenty of linking words. And then we come to the last part, which is how do you actually practice these? For part 2, you can find plenty of resources online. Basically, just take almost any 2 pictures and try to think of typical questions you might be confronted with at the exam, so to speak, and try to answer that. Make sure that you fit into the time limit of 1 minute. And the more you do it, you will realize the easier it will get to start to think more in depth about those pictures. In regards to part 3, that would be quite difficult to practice on your own. So hopefully you have a speaking partner or someone you can practice this cooperative task better. For part 4, I would suggest taking a list of typical part 4 questions dependent on the given topic and try to answer them. Try to justify your answers, try to give it a good organization, and make sure that all of your ideas fit together. Hopefully this short video has given you just a little bit of an idea of how you can improve. And one last step might be to simply read things out loud. read out loud, and that also helps you to enhance your speaking abilities. Thank you for your attention. Bye.